Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister who changed the face of the Indian economy in post-independence India has just been disowned by his own party. Senior Congress leader Mani Shankar Aiyar has described PV Narasimha Rao as the first BJP Prime Minister of India. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mani Shankar Aiyar has said that not Atal Bihari Vajpayee but the first BJP PM of the country was PV Narasimha Rao. And well, Mani Shankar Aiyar just didn't stop there. Aiyar also accused Narasimha Rao of leading the country from secular path to the communal path. At the launch of his book, Memoirs of a Maverick, Aiyar said that he discovered how communal and Hindu-oriented PV Narasimha Rao was. Listen in.
The whole of the 1990 story is told in this book. It's when I discovered how communal, how Hindu-oriented PV Narasimha Rao was, and it foreshadowed how he would be sitting doing puja while the Babri Masjid was brought down. It also foreshadowed PV Narasimha Rao calling me in from my Ram Rahim Yatra, which is described in volume 2 of my memoirs, and saying to me, I have no objection to your yatra, but I disagree with your definition of secularism. He said, Mani, you don't seem to understand that this is a Hindu country. I sat up in my chair and I said, but that's exactly what the BJP says. So in fact, the first BJP Prime Minister of India was not Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The first BJP Prime Minister was Narasimha Rao.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And I want to ask you, Dr. Sanjay Jha. Dr. Sanjay Jha, do you really think, I mean, I know that the Congress didn't feel too kindly towards PV Narasimha Rao. Everybody knows that in this country because when he passed away, even his dead body was not allowed into 24 Akbar Road. So people know the distaste and the dislike for PV Narasimha Rao that the Congress has had. But do you really believe that he was a BJP Prime Minister? In which case, would you want to actually acknowledge that liberalization was because of the BJP? Dr. Manmohan Singh was working with the BJP Prime Minister. All your other greats, so many of those ministers who still are active in politics were actually working for a BJP Prime Minister. What kind of a statement was that by Mani Shankar Aiyar?
Navika, I can tell you upfront, and I need to be honest with you, I don't agree with Mr. Aiyar at all, and I have a lot of respect for Mr. Aiyar. And I'll tell you the reason why. A lot of people actually believe that because PV Narasimha Rao, who by the way happens to be from the same college where I studied, so I will fight for my alumni. The truth is that PV Narasimha Rao had a great relationship with the BJP leaders. He was one of those educated people, very erudite, and he kept his doors open. And a lot of people don't know this, Navika, but actually PV Narasimha Rao met with senior BJP leaders who assured him that nothing will go wrong when the Kar Sevaks actually land up at Ayodhya. And the tragedy was that Kalyan Singh, who had assured the Supreme Court of India and the National Integration Council that he will make sure, and he was the chief minister, and he had the power with him that they will not allow anyone to, kind of break the Babri Masjid. The Prime Minister had to go with it. And we all know the rules, Navika, that end of day, even a central force, if it is sent to Ayodhya, it has to still take instructions from the state government. So I think this speculation that he was, somebody who was a saffronite is totally wrong. I'm, for example, a practicing, religious Hindu, but I'm not communal. And that doesn't deny the reality that if Narasimha Rao was praying, there's nothing wrong with that. I think what we need to recognize here, and this is something that a lot of people miss, Navika, that people blame him for not imposing the precedent's rule earlier before, the entire December 6th episode happened. But the truth is that legally, he could not actually impose precedent rules through Article 356 till something happened. He could not do it in anticipation of it. I think a lot of people who have studied that history know that. But I do recognize that people within the Congress suspect him of being, a soft Hindutva kind of a guy.
But you're only giving half the truth. When he says that Narasimha Rao said that this is a Hindu country, then Gaurav Bhatia, Mr. Kamalnath said it a few days ago. He said in a country where 82% of the population is Hindu, it is a Hindu country. So what was Kamalnath saying? Was it different from what Narasimha Rao said? And why does the Congress not label Mr. Kamalnath as a Hindu communal leader, but Narasimha Rao was?
There are two traits of the Congress party. One is hypocrisy, the other is confusion. And you asked a very pertinent question, and I'm sure my friend Sanjay Jha will not have a reply. But there is something more to it. Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar will not speak without instructions. You know, words might belong to Mani Shankar Aiyar, but the thought process, the ideology to insult non-Gandhi Parivar PMs from the Congress emanates from Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And be it Narasimha Rao or Manmohan Singh, the Gandhi Parivar doesn't want that their legacy should be taken forward. So, you know, belittle them, make charges, especially for a person who's not there to defend himself. Second, is it also not a classic example of appeasement politics? We all know about the elections that are around the corner.
Navika,
5 important states and the Lok Sabha elections. By saying all this, that Narasimha Rao ji was instrumental in ensuring that the Ram Mandir cause is taken forward, they're again trying to appease a particular community. And I want to ask, have they taken this stand earlier? Rather, I remember the plenary session recently held, and Navika, the newspaper ad also showed Narasimha Rao ji. So if Narasimha Rao is so communal, why was his face there? And what do you have to say about Mr.
Dr. Sanjay Jha, Dr. Sanjay Jha, Narasimha Rao, probably the only non-Gandhi Prime Minister in recent times, before Manmohan Singh. Now, after Nehru, after Indira Gandhi, it was Narasimha Rao. I want to ask you, is that why he's given this kind of a treatment? Because he isn't from the Gandhi family?
See, I do believe, Navika, that when Mr. Rao was the Prime Minister, I think the party stood by him. And you're absolutely right. The liberalization story, the credit is given to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Yes, he was the finance minister, but he would not have been able to do it if the Prime Minister did not kind of give him the green signal to go ahead with those ambitious reforms. The other part, which is important, and I think Mani Shankar Aiyar has probably missed it out, that the Places of Worship Act, which is being discussed today in the light of the Gyan Bapti, kind of controversy, you will find that that was brought in by PV Narasimha Rao to ensure that the BJP would not politicize other religious, monuments. And more importantly, dismissed, by the way, several BJP-led governments thereafter. I mean, he banned the arts.
So Dr. Sanjay Jha, why don't you answer? The elephant in the room that Gaurav Bhatia is pointing to is, can Mani Shankar Aiyar say all of this without the Congress High Command's express support?
No, Navika, let me give you an honest answer. Like me, Mani also got suspended by the Congress party for making certain comments.
Just because we called him Neech, and that would have damaged the Congress party. But he's very much an insider even today. You're suspended, and for supporting Narasimha Rao, you're likely to stay suspended for a while.
Sanjay Jha is more vocal than the spokesperson of the Congress.
I think people don't understand Mani Shankar Aiyar. I think he's got his heart in the right place. He holds strong views. I mean, he's what I would call as a fundamental, secular fundamentalist, which is okay. I mean, we need that kind of a conversation. But I think naming Narasimha Rao the way I think a lot of people in the Congress do, I think they probably haven't understood the man. I'm not saying that because he's from Ferguson College like I am, but I do believe at the end of the day that he was a very able administrator.
Well,
his peace treaty with China is very...
I'm from the neighboring college. The gates and the walls of my college were adjoining the Ferguson College in Pune, Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics. But clearly our views are so very different that common walls...
I'm the Gokhale Institute as well.
Okay, so amazing, but we don't share any similar views on many matters. So I don't know if going to the same college gives you the same views, but let's leave it at that. It is Congress politics all the way, and that's the way the Congress's politics really works. What would you do about it? Thank you very much, Sanjay Jha, and thank you, Gaurav Bhatia, for joining me on the News Hour tonight. And thank you, viewers, for being with me for another edition of the News Hour, which we're so happy to bring to you. And thank you for being with us and giving us the support and love that you always do. Good night. Be safe.